Have you ever wondered how a speed limit was chosen for the roads around the Cape Fear? Well, there is a lot that goes into it. Tonight in Operation Gridlock, setting limits, we are breaking it down. WAY's Hannah Patrick sat down with traffic engineers just to find out how it's done and how you could go about getting one changed.
Whether it's a highway,
you're going to hear wind noise, you're going to hear engine noise,
or a neighborhood.
There's so many unforeseen conflicts that you can have.
There is a science behind that number posted on the side of each road.
The standard would be the 85th percentile speed.
Wilmington traffic engineer Don Bennett says they use that standard to set the speed limit on all city roads. So what is the 85th percentile speed?
Most drivers will drive at a speed that they feel safe and comfortable at. So you look at the speed and you find out the speed that 85% of the drivers are at or below.
A spokesman with the NCDOT says they also use that standard for state roads. But for all of those roads, there are exceptions.
Sometimes design parameters can constrict.
Randall Parkway is a 4-lane road within city limits. Many drivers think the speed limit is 45 miles an hour, but it's actually 35 for a very specific reason.
You come off of the South Kerr Avenue or Independence and it's 45, and then you hit Randall Parkway and immediately it goes to 35.
The drivers out there see a roadway that's 4 lanes wide with a median, limited conflicts, and they assume that they can drive faster on it than they really can.
Teresa Carroll works off Randall Parkway and drives it every day.
And continuously we see people being pulled. You feel sorry for them, and if they were really speeding, you would say, well, they deserve that ticket.
Bennett says the design of Randall Parkway makes it the exception.
The rate of curvature in the roadway, how tight a curve is, how much relative slope there is in the roadway, whether we have banking in it or whether it's relatively flat.
Another exception, neighborhoods.
Whether it be a child running out after a ball, a pet that's gotten loose that isn't anticipated, coming around the corner and there's a garbage truck picking up refuse, or a meter reader out there just doing their job.
That's why he says most neighborhoods have much slower speeds.
These conflicts are not expected. Therefore, driving slower in the neighborhoods affords you a shorter stopping distance and less chance of getting into a collision.
How much can people affect changing a speed limit?
The residents of any neighborhood generally have the most control over what the actual speed on their road is.
And while most speed limits aren't changing, Bennett says there is a growing need for drivers to start paying more attention to their speed.
As our car technology evolves, we need to pay attention to our speedometer because we're more and more isolated from that exterior environment.
In Wilmington, Hannah Patrick, WWAY News.
You can find out more about setting speed limits in Operation Gridlock from the Star News early next week.